I'm Corbett Wall with DB Auction, here with your feeder flash for Wednesday, August the 17th, the best day of the whole year, except for maybe Christmas. Brought to you in part by Safeguard. Safeguard wants to know, is your dewormer working? Text the word SAFE to 48109 to find out. You'll also be entered to win a Traeger grill. For more information, look to Merck Animal Health. Up and away. I mean, this week, this market has absolutely taken off. And on Tuesday, we just saw a banner day everywhere. Our board was up big, both fats and feeders. The signals that tell us what's going to happen in the fat market are all positive. They're going to be higher. We saw, your feeder cattle selling higher at all your sales and significantly higher. And nothing seems to be stopping it or holding it back. Of course, we know that our fundamentals are strong. What frustrates us is sometimes our fundamentals don't ring right, but this time the fundamentals are so blaringly evident that we are so short of numbers of cattle of all classes, and it's going to get progressively shorter. So, it's time to get in, get aboard, and go. And we saw your back months on your futures go up big time, especially on feeder cattle. And grains were cheaper, and so that didn't hurt it there. But I tell you what, really good market there. And we're going to tell you a little bit more about all of it. But half 100 years. I don't know about you guys that are older than I am, that those that have turned 50. That seems to be kind of a benchmark. You know you're half done anyway. My great-grandfather did live to be 100, but I tell you what, the last 5 years or so for him were not real productive. His mind was good, but he wasn't doing a whole lot. But going on the backside of your life here for sure is something. I've seen a lot of changes in the cattle industry. Cattle industry has been such a big part of my life for my entire life. And very humbled at the following that I have here. All my new friends, Feeder Flash gang members, we call them. That was something that Jim Felton, a buddy of mine up in Montana, put together on Facebook, and it's kind of grown. But appreciate all you people that make this a part of your day as often as you do. And I realize that most of you don't do it every day, but some of you do. And I appreciate that, and I'm always trying to do you guys an honest job of this. But talk about Western Video Market. They wrapped up their Cheyenne, Wyoming sale. And for those in Wyoming, congratulations on getting rid of Liz Cheney. And I'm sure proud of you people for the way you did that. But they sold some calves awfully high in there. I want to tell you about one in particular lot. And it was the Double 8 Ranch from right there in Wyoming, from Elk Mountain, Wyoming. They sold 375 head of these fancy red 400-pound steer calves, unweaned and no special programs on them. For October delivery, bring 277. If that doesn't get you excited, you need to check your pulse, because that's pretty exciting. Now here on Wednesday, on my 50th birthday, going to be flying out to Mississippi. I've already had to change my flights because the airline travel sucks so bad right now. They had already delayed my flight out of Amarillo so bad I wasn't going to make it, but we've made a whole different flight, flying into a different location. Going to be here this afternoon on Wednesday, going to be at Gulf Regional Livestock in Lucedale, Mississippi. I'm excited about going there, seeing Eric and Molly and everybody, and I've told you that my good friend Sam Blakeney is going to be taking me around to several locations there, but everybody's invited that wants to come out. They're going to do it kind of between the calf sale and when the cows start. They have a little break there, and we may take a longer break because we're going to give a presentation there, but we invite anybody that wants to come out to that. If you can't make that one, tomorrow on Thursday at noon, going to be at Southeast Mississippi Livestock in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. Everyone is invited to that one also. Talk about your board on Tuesday. August live cattle futures were up $1.55 at 141.30. October up 187 at 145.67. Your back months were all up from 60 cents to 147. Feeder cattle futures, August feeder cattle up 160 at 181.52, and we're not far from that on our index levels, guys. September up 247, wow, at 185.47. Back months all up big, up 172 to 242. We're starting to tickle some of those prices that we saw back in 2014, people, and it's going to get pretty wild. You better hang on. Corn down 18 cents, 6.10 1/4. Starting to get some moisture up there in the western corn belt. Beans down 31 1/4 cent at 13.81, and you see that we're nearing closer and closer to harvest on our corn and beans, and the market's going away. It's similar to what we have with our fat cattle trade. But your fat cattle trade on Tuesday, Iowa had confirmed sales of only 100 head at 146. Nebraska sold 3,000 head at live delivered prices, which is not the norm. Normally when you sell live, it's FOB or free on board or picked up or however you want to call it, but the seller does not have to pay the freight. But on one long string of Nebraska cattle, both steers and heifers, and I heard it was in northeastern Nebraska, it was all delivered, a delivered price to the plant, but live, and reported to USDA at 152.80. Okay, now that doesn't tell you a whole lot about what our FOB is. We don't know what his expenses were for the freight on those cattle, but this market's going to be higher. We're seeing it in the auctions. Good friend Gary Marks out of Stockman's Livestock in Yankton, South Dakota, he showed up there to visit with his friends and give me a market report out of there, and told me that the conventional cattle, just the straight up fat cattle that they had there, sold from 142 to 148.50. That was $2 to $4 higher through the ring, brick and mortar sale, Yankton, South Dakota. Non-implanted cattle, and they had several of those, but they didn't have any drug-free cattle. But non-implanted cattle, 147.5 to 156.50, $5 to $6 higher. Dig in, guys. Get more for your cattle this week. You deserve it, and it's time. The market's ripe. It's time to gain market position in leaps and bounds. Box beef cutout values kind of mixed on Tuesday. Choice cuts up 98 cents at 265.44. Selects down 60 cents at 239.12. Your slaughter, 247,000 through the first 2 days of the week. That's 2,000 more than last week, 7,000 more than the same week a year ago. Talk about what else is going on. If you're looking for a change in genetics, let Limousin and Limflex take you full circle. They are focusing on feed efficiency, improved marbling, superior yield grade, calving ease. You can get them all black if that's what you want to do, guys. But check out Limousin and Limflex. Go to NALF.org. Talk about your feeder cattle market, your real-time index on DV auction. Late in the day on Tuesday, sitting at 180.56, up $2 smooth. A $2 gain here, while earlier in the week on an index level that's a 7-day moving average and has tens of thousands of cattle in it. But that's very aggressive, and that's instrumental there, giving you what the market is on an 800-pound steer. We haven't seen that for a long, long, long time. Ozarks Regional Stockyard, West Plains, Missouri, 2,100 head there. They had another good offering on their in-house video that they do very regularly there. Mostly calves through the ring, $4 to $8 higher. Pee-wee calves, I call them under 4.5, $12 higher in spots. They had over 600-pound percentage was 39%, so predominantly calves and a lot of light calves there at Ozarks Regional Stockyard, West Plains, Missouri. Talk about some of the markets in your other sales on Tuesday. Denny Rezac Livestock Commission in St. Mary's, Kansas. Look at these strings I pulled out of there on their Tuesday sale. Included in there is a load of 705-pound steers at $207 and 195 head of 800-pound steers at $185. Very, very impressive right there in St. Mary's, Kansas especially. How about Beaver County Stockyards, Beaver, Oklahoma? Look at these loads and bigger that I pulled out of there for their Tuesday offering, and you look at these that I pulled weighing from 815 to 930 pounds. Price spread on them from $169.75 to $182. They sell them high out east too, guys. Bluegrass Stockyards, Lexington, Kentucky, the big flagship location for Bluegrass Stockyards, sells 105 steers in one swath, weighed 953 pounds at $177 in Lexington, Kentucky. How about down in Arkansas? I-40 Livestock in Ozark, Arkansas. They don't always sell them one at a time. They get strings in there from time to time. Had several on Tuesday. 82 head, 703-pound steers at I-40 Livestock in Ozark, Arkansas bring $180. Wow. But your Zoetta stickout sale of the day was Kimball Livestock Exchange in Kimball, South Dakota. You won't see their market reported anywhere else unless they pay for it. But you look at this automated market report and you see the best tested weights of steers and heifers. How about 274 head of steers weighed 778 in the 7 to 8 weight category? The weighted average price on those was $204.19. 216 head of the 8 weight steers averaged $820 at $195.42 on your weighted average price. Look at all the heifers and selling the heifers, and still yet to see significant keeping of replacement heifers. 558 head of heifers in the 7 weight category averaged $738 with a weighted average price of $186.93, and 327 head of 8 weight heifers averaged $842 with a weighted average price of $168.79. Also out of Kimball Livestock Exchange, our Mackerson No BS top quote for the day, 66 head of steers weighed 835 at $197.25. And that's your feeder flash for Wednesday.